You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Mob Wives After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Mob Wives After Show.
Hello, Mob Wives fans. Bing is for doing, and we are doing another AFTERBUZZ TV After Show. We're actually doing Mob Wives, Season 2, Episode 13. What goes around? Probably second to last episode, right? For the season?
I'm hoping so. It's getting good. Climactic.
I mean, and as we're watching this, I said to you, I mean, maybe we're biased because we're fans of the show, but have you ever seen reality quite like this?
No. I have to admit, no.
Right? I mean, where that it's so close to home, it's so real, and this is like literally people's lives.
It's so real. It's
are being affected.
Exhausting. Yeah.
It is exhausting, and you know that Junior, and we talked about in weeks past, like where does Junior go? Where does Junior hide? With the scar and everything, he's been on a famous show, and all it takes is one person in a small area to go, "Hey, I recognize him," and that's it.
Reconstructive surgery. Do
you really believe that when you say that?
I mean,
like that's what they'll do.
Where do you go? I mean, he's been on national television. What do you do?
And he had to play it out. It was his only way to make this deal. Crazy. Let's before we get into the Renee thing, because that's going to take up most of our discussion tonight, let's briefly touch on some of the other things. Carla and Joe have a nice Christmas. Again, falling in line with what you predicted, that they would get back together. It looks like they're moving in that direction.
I mean, look at him, right?
Yeah, no, he comes in with that really sweet smile. Yeah.
What? Running up the stairs.
I mean, doesn't look like a guy that has served 6 years. If I've known people that have done time, and you see it on their face. Very hard. They look very hard. Even ones that are good looking.
I'm a little indecent. Yeah, I'm totally thinking, wow, how did he survive in there?
Right. No, I know. Well, he's bulky and he's strong and he's also protected.
Yeah.
I'm sure he knew enough people and he got in with an Italian clique, and I'm sure he was protected. But still, it's a very hard way of life. And I mean, this guy, I could see him coaching youth hockey. Like I don't see him as a mobster. Anyway, they seem very happy together.
Well, I liked it. The kids wanted dad there for Christmas Eve, so.
Thank God.
Then that's what we're gonna do.
And he set up
that's what a dad should say.
And it'll keep going. I still don't think he's gonna be loyal, because I think it's. By the way, even because he's just young.
Oh, look at the name.
And now he's famous.
Ferragamo.
He's famous, and he's gonna have more people come his way. More girls are gonna come his way.
Catching the
Carla ends up boxing, or Drita. Excuse me. Drita does her boxing, and all I'm saying to myself is, wow, she's gonna get some kind of payoff for a celeb boxing match. If she takes this match, and I was saying to myself, and during the episode, remember I was telling you a commercial break, like, how did we not hear about this? If she got into a match, we would have, in our news and gossip one of these weeks, I'm like, how did we miss it? And of course, we found out she doesn't fight the fight.
Which I'm kind of glad, I think it's a redeeming factor for her. Now, she wants to be a better person, you're going to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk.
And I think she's above it. Yeah. I mean, the show's very popular. Yeah. I don't think she needs to monetize it through getting beat up. I think those celeb boxing matches, they pay like, what, $5-10 grand. They don't pay a lot of money. And even if it's a little bit more, it's not like you're going to fight every weekend. I think there's other ways for her to make money.
Well, she did that, she did the bathing suit thing. And then she also, she did a stint, she collabed with, sorry, I don't remember the rapper's name, but she did a little rap song thing with some rapper who's a little mediocre, according to our DJ Jesse.
Who, yes.
I mean, she's doing some things,
But she doesn't need to go get her head kicked in.
No.
Now, do you think that, again, just devil's advocate, was there any dick in the soup involved, meaning she did all this knowing she wasn't going to really box and it was just going to be a good segment? Or,
I would say yes.
Yes. You don't believe, so you think there was really no intention?
I don't think
it was a fabricated subplot. Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to the plot that we know there's no way is fabricated, is Renee and Junior.
Yes.
No way. Crazy, right?
Hell yeah. Of the entire episode, I appreciate the most the fact that Renee again revisits her seemingly genuine apology towards Karen and how she treated her when she returned home.
She realized, yeah.
She actually made the comment about, I think about your father, speaking of Karen's father and mother, and apologizing to them even though they couldn't hear it. I felt that was something that was needed, and I think if you're gonna turn the tables and grow as a person, not only for yourself but for your son. I talk about it all the time. I feel for AJ, poor AJ.
My God.
But I think she's seeing now that you've constantly made comments about not being about this life, or being about this life and not wanting to be about this life, and going back to it and reverting to what you know. Again, you gotta, if you're gonna talk the talk, you gotta walk the walk.
Well,
what goes around comes around.
Yeah, well, that's the title, right? What goes around, and it's just amazing. Like, no one. It seems like these people never think it through. That it's always gonna end up like this, or they do think it through and they say, well, it's worth it, but it's always gonna end like this.
Well, all the pieces come together. All the pieces come together. Big Ann says, it's not the way it used. It's not like the good old days. It's not the way it used to be. Everybody's a rat nowadays.
Well, let me ask you, because we're going to talk about Big Ann. We're going to talk about Karen. We're going to talk about this. Renee's big question: did Junior love Renee? That's what she was like. Did he love me? Did he?
I honestly don't believe he did.
So he slept with her and did all that other stuff.
Even
and
before I found out about the whole wiretap thing, because
it seemed like a convenient thing. It seemed like this would be a good roof over his head, good food. He'd be treated well. He'd get some camera time.
Do I think he cared about the mother of his child? Yes. Do I think he was in love with her?
No.
By no means. No.
No, not anymore. No. I
Even
think,
before the wiretap, I didn't believe it.
And a lot of the wise guys and the criminal types, they just kind of fall back on the nice girl who will stand by them. I've seen it so many times. When they get pinched, even when they're out on bail, or they're about to get, arrested. Right. They make sure they settle up or settle down with anybody.
Why put in the work or pay for the milk when you can get it for free?
So anyway, and did you feel like toward the end, was she forgiving him at all? Was it went from like, I hate him, how could he do this? Was there a slight bit of her that was just starting to kind of forgive him?
My personal opinion, I don't believe she was forgiving him. I think that she was medicated. I also think that she is going through the emotional roller coaster and she was a little numb.
Right.
I think she's going to have her little outbursts here and there and react. Whether it's her place to forgive him, she chose that. She made her bed. She took him back. She allowed him back in her life. As far as her and her son and that little her family, but as far as the father, she can't answer for that. That's Junior's to answer for. How didn't she meet Junior through her father?
Yeah, and they were like father and son.
Well, he created that mess. Same thing. He made his bed. He has to lie in it too.
And I think that's sometimes has to make it even more painful for her that she kind of put the gun in his hand. To a degree.
But I didn't believe that before either when we talked about it.
If she didn't move him in, he still would have busted. Now all he has is it's actually probably a good thing that he got busted. It went down this way because someone will find him now. Mm-hmm. Because he is famous. The chances are.
How can you can't run from that scar?
No, unless, like you said, they get some kind of crazy cosmetic surgery.
Face off.
But it's not like he has a big nose or anything. That didn't look. He doesn't look like a face you could do much with to change.
Strip it, peel it, bald it, color it. I don't know. We'll see. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
Well, we know it's real. We know all this is real. What went down?
Yeah.
Do you think?
And during the holidays. Oof.
I just wonder. Do you think he should just done the time, or do you think he did the right thing by saving his own?
Do I think it was right? No. Again, you did the crime. Again, now you're gonna rat out somebody else,
right?
But then again, I don't know the dynamics. I don't know why Sammy the Bull ratted out Gotti, right?
Well, before we even get into that,
sorry.
No, it's okay. Where does Junior stuff go? She's packing this stuff up. Goodwill.
Get back to the halfway house. I don't know.
Okay. Well, now let's talk about how all the other girls, react. They all react very differently to this situation. We start with Drita, and Drita comes to the house and is already bawling and showing her support. So all the stuff with the Poconos is out the window, and it seems like the real issues are what's being dealt with. And I think that's great. And these are the things that, as I say every week, the things I like about these women is they do have that sense of family. They do have that sense about kind of sticking together. Where some of the other reality shows, the wives or the women groups who get together just don't. They don't care about each other at all. They're just all about themselves.
Well, interesting. I think that it was genuine. You know, Drita was crying and the Poconos went out the window, which is a good thing. I think, you know, that was very petty, but it was interesting to hear her back up Carla's claim at the nail salon and say, if the shoe was on the other foot and say Carla's husband turned into a rat, that Renee would have things to say about Joe or about Carla or whatever.
Somebody else.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So I do.
And again, not to keep putting things off, but we will talk about Carla, so we'll get into all that stuff.
But so the Drita thing, yeah, I think Drita was genuine.
And then Big Ange comes. Just Big Ange continues just to be the veteran mobster who is in the twilight of her career, so she's calmer, keeps the level head. She goes over there, and I think it just seems like a great friend.
She's there for support, and she's, you know, ambivalent about the whole thing. You don't give any direct answers or direct questions. You know, you just let her speak and vent. And
she's amazing.
Okay, girl, gotta go.
Yeah, I mean, God, you gotta love our Big Ange. Yeah. Smart cookie, been around. And then, of course, we see Karen, and now let's talk about Sammy the Bull, because Karen, in a similar situation, the father was the first man under Gotti, and then ratted Sammy the Bull, then ratted everybody out, and then disappeared. And so we have her coming over, and she's very supportive to Renee. She knows what Renee's going through, but I thought her conversation with her mother was very interesting.
I thought that was a little dick in the soup.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But
like,
you know, the
call your mom, maybe have your mom call in.
True that. But the mom, it's not like the mom would be an actress. I mean, but then again, like, I think in that lifestyle, all you do is lie. You learn how to lie to the feds. You learn how to lie to neighbors, right? So I'm sure she could be programmed to say what she said, but I feel like at least she was being genuine.
Well, you just said it. You know, you learn how to lie, right? And when the dad was in prison,
right?
What happened? The mom, Karen, the brother, they all got busted for another drug ring in Phoenix or in Arizona.
Yeah, they went right back to it.
You know, they live it. I mean, I think the conversation was valuable for viewers because the same thing. You know, it's not they didn't rat. It was the husband who.
And she said your dad's situation was different. What did she mean by that? You were expanding on that.
Well, there's been comments in blogs, and I haven't read the book. I haven't read Karen's book.
I'm halfway through it.
You like it?
Yeah, I do. I of course.
There's been comments that her dad ratted because I guess either Gotti was gonna rat him or have him knocked off. What do you know?
The same thing.
Yeah.
And you know, Gotti, who he broke so many old mob rules by getting publicity and by knocking off bosses. I mean, so I would tend to think that, yeah, he probably would either turn to keep himself out of jail or have Sammy taken out. I would tend to think so.
If your leader's not following the conditioned rules that you've established or you've been living under, and all of a sudden either your life is threatened or your family's life is threatened, I'm sorry, my family's going to come first.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not following the rules that you put forth. Sorry, brother, you got to go.
So it seems like it could be different.
Yeah.
It could be. But
again, it's the life that they chose. I can't answer for that.
Right, no, it's the life they chose. And I thought her doing the book was interesting. You know, reading that part in which she said, where the father said, it's all going to come out. This lifestyle I've held from you guys is all going to come out now, and yada, yada, yada. And it was, you know, she got emotional. I would think that moment's real.
Oh, I told you, I'm Team Karen.
Yeah.
She reverts her. Yeah, she can, you know, she can be a bitch sometimes, but she holds it down. She's gangster, whereas I think Drita is hood. Great way of putting it. Nothing wrong with being either of those things.
Hood versus gangsta.
Sometimes, you know, oil and water just don't mix.
But, you know, it's funny. She does talk about the Drita thing and about Lee, and she moved in this Albanian girl. And now, as I hear the book, I guess I do see more of what Karen was saying. You invited someone in your house. It's not like you were dating Lee for a couple months. You dated this guy for 7 years. You invite this girl in your house. Now, this girl, through you, gets to know Lee, who she marries later. There's no way that can be. There's not going to be some kind of bad blood. Right? I mean, how would you be with exes? Like, could you just imagine?
Do we have time? Well, I'm living in it now. My ex is currently dating my roommate.
Ugh.
I'm actually good with it.
And is it set up by you? I mean, not set up, but in terms of they met through you?
Yeah, so I mean, it is what it is. But the interesting part was I don't necessarily know if either one of them would have told me if I didn't initiate some conversation in that vein. So I probably would have felt disrespected and like, hey, you know, you're my friend. And
how long were you dating your ex?
2 years.
2 years. That's a long time.
So,
I mean,
but
anytime it
we're
goes
good.
over 8 months.
It's good blood now. But I can understand.
You
that
dated
concept.
for 2 years, and then how long ago?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. That's still fresh.
Mm-hmm. And I'm still close with my ex.
You're handling it very well.
I mean, but we're grown adults. So, but what I'm getting at.
But
is
don't
the
you
fact
get?
that,
But don't you get? I think you're handling it very well. Don't you get somebody dating for 7 years? And I mean, I get it. And I'm Team Drita. I love Drita. I love all the women here, but I do now. I kind of see more why. You know, deep down, Karen would be upset. In the first season, Karen was trying to find her footing again because she left as a rat. So you know, she really couldn't be herself. Now that she's found her footing on the show and found her level of fame, and she's kind of eclipsed all of this. Now, you know, she's able to be honest and go, you know what, F you. I can't believe you.
Oh yeah,
you did that.
Or just saying, you know, come on, Drita, you know, be honest about it.
Be honest about it. And of course, I'm writing about it because he is in my life.
And I'm gonna get paid.
Right. Well, I have no problem with her doing that. I mean, it is her life. And by the way, like, even without this, here's the interesting thing about Karen. Even without this show, that book is selling. The daughter of Sammy the Bull writing a book is totally going to sell. So yes, it sold more with this show. It got more attention with this show. It's still going to get published and it's still going to sell.
And I'm not knocking Drita either in the sense.
No.
She was in love with somebody. We do crazy things when we're in love.
Yep.
The person she was in love with didn't like Karen. This reality is they had didn't work out. It wasn't good. They had a falling out. You know, it's the father of your kids now. And people grow.
No, and I'll
it's
tell
hard
you,
to come back.
I tell you, I've seen more times where even exes of mine have moved on and it's busted you up, but they kind of all got, I mean, so Drita got Lee, but then what? Lee cheated, went to jail twice. I mean, really? So
what goes around, you get what you ask for.
You know, so
you signed up for that. So
and as the title of this episode goes, what goes around? Poor Carla. You were shaking her head as she was talking. Seriously? You know, Cam was shaking his head during the screening, like, no, stop talking. Yeah. Stop, you know, because now this is the flip side of the women in this lifestyle that I don't like. I like the fact that they're familial. I like that they stick up for each other. I like that they can be there for each other. But the way they're so volatile and so crazy and so, like, you just say one wrong thing and you're done. Now, I don't feel like Carla was saying she knew. I think she just was saying she must have known something was up. I think she was saying, why is Renee surprised? More than she was saying Renee knew that this guy was ratting on her father and didn't do anything.
Yeah, I didn't get the fact that I didn't get the idea that she was implying that Renee knew about the possible.
She wasn't, but again, the volatility and don't make eye contact. Crazy people. You have to be very careful with how you word things.
What I get was that she was implying that, come on, Renee, you should have known something was up. The fact that Junior all of a sudden wants to move back in,
and everyone around town was saying he was
out.
And everyone around town was saying he was different. You know, and what's up with Junior? What's up with Junior? That's what everyone kept asking.
Read the signs.
So she was saying, kind of, you should have been prepared, and I guess I've had people say that to me too. And when you're like down in the dumps, and again, being Italian and crazy myself, I know I'm kind of mad at people like that too. Like, what? It's not about the fact I should have known. Don't you see I'm stabbed? Yeah, okay, so I should have known the guy was going to take his knife out and stab me. But right now I've got a knife in my stomach and I'm bleeding. So I get it, but I don't think now when you're like cuckoo, you go to that next extreme.
No, I totally understand why Carla said what she said.
And I understand a little bit of why Renee doesn't want to hear it right now. She just wants someone to hug her and, you know, and help her move forward. But she's taking it a step further, I think, by saying, you know, in her brain saying that she somehow knew the father was going to get arrested.
This year, how with Carla,
and
you know how Renee is going to act.
Well, that's why you were shaking your head. You were like, no, stop. So this happens, and then to make matters worse, we go to the Chinese nail salon because Big Ann's loves her little Chinese girl, or her little Chinese as she calls her, and they're getting their nails done. And now Carla's drinking the wine, and I'm sure the producers are, you know, tipping off the glass of wine, and Carla spews venom, says, I don't care what, you know, she says, and it's just typical Renee and blah, blah, blah. And that's when Drita said, and you were saying it earlier.
I have to agree that if the shoe was on the other foot, Renee would flip. She would make comments about somebody else in that situation.
She would say, you should have known.
She would make comments about the person, the whole rat thing,
listen,
Karen,
if they said it and they agreed, I have to believe them because they know her better than me. Okay, but I will say this. I also see Renee. I feel like Renee would be the friend to bring over the big tray of lasagna and be like, sweetie, I'm so sorry. And she'd be more, I feel like if something like this happened, where your whole life gets torn away, I don't feel like she would be. I feel like she loves being kind of the pseudo godmother. Well, the figurehead godmother.
Educate me. Aren't bipolar people like extremist to the
nth degree? Is she bipolar?
She's taking medication for something, but I mean, she's an extremist to the nth degree.
She's a drama queen, and she's extremist.
11 or 12. It's not.
So
10.
that's what I'm saying. I feel like she'd be the 11 or 12 with the cold cut platters and lasagna, and I'm here for you, and we need to get you out, and I feel like she'd be that person. But the reason that I have to believe Drita and Carla, because they know her better than we do.
Because it's all about subject matter.
And you know what Carla said was interesting, and then she'd flip right back. Then she would do that. She'd talk the crap and go, you know what, I'm wrong, and go the other way.
She would feel bad and apologize, but after blowing up and running her trap. But it comes back to reverting to what you know, being that mafia princess and feeling like you have license to say whatever you want to say because you can make a phone call. Doesn't matter.
It wasn't interesting when she said, I'm not that girl anymore. I can't call. I can't say Junior, my husband Junior, or my father. I'm sure there's friends and acquaintances of theirs. They can still take care of business for them. But, I mean, the good news is that with her fame now, she shouldn't need it. Here's a question for you. Okay. We continually see Sammy the Bull, right? And he goes down, and the family goes down. And Sammy has his freedom and was known to be in very good shape and could have lived the next probably 40 years, could have maybe gone 20 years quietly, then written his book and, you know, come out. They wouldn't have killed him by then and been a celebrity. But instead, what does he do? He goes and he sells drugs and he gets in trouble again. And then Karen and the rest of them do the same thing. So my question to you as I'm watching this, we know Carla's not involved in anything. We know Drita's just as you said, just hood. But Karen has reverted to that lifestyle. Do you think that she's going to revert to it again? Or do you think she's done? She's washed her hands of this lifestyle, and now she's an author and a celebrity. Do you think she can just walk away from it? And that actually goes for Renee as well. Can they just walk away?
I think Karen would have an easier time having done time herself or been, you know, Renee's never caught a case,
but when
right?
but when it's what's in you like this, it doesn't even matter that you've done time. Look at the father did time.
If the book is successful enough, I think that it will condition a change in behavior.
Okay, we know we're gonna have more seasons of this show. At least I would say at least 2 more. I would say. So what you're saying is we're pretty good that they'll be on the straight and narrow.
I believe so, because I also think that she's gonna catch a lot of flack about the whole mothering thing again. So, you know, that's gonna, as a mother, I think that would change you. You're like, okay, I gotta make some changes.
As a mom, and then again, you know, if you're thinking like a man and thinking like a provider, then you want to say like that's gonna hurt your ability to provide. Even if in the short run you can make some money here and there. Okay, all right, I'm glad to hear that. Lastly, poor AJ. Oh. Looks nice without the glasses, nice tan. But I picked up something you didn't.
Okay.
He said, you know what? It's your family, it's your father, and basically you have to do what you have to do. My red flag I threw on that was he didn't say it's our family, he's my grandfather, your father, we have to stick to, he didn't say that. To me, he was saying, I get you hate my father, I get it, I get you're never going to talk to him again. You know what? And it's your family and you're stuck with him. So basically, like, good luck to you. But he's my father. I love him. And at some point, he's going to call me and I'm going to be there. That's what I took from that.
And I think it's valid. Unfortunately, I do. I believe that's valid.
I mean, it is his dad. And by the way, how many times we see parents try to break the love of another parent, and rarely, I always see the kid, no matter what, no matter how much brainwashing's done, I always see the kid in the end reach out, because we all, it's in our DNA. We all want to, whether it's a father, especially a mom, but it's a father or mother, we all want a relationship.
I've said it from the get-go. I think, AJ responds like a child that's grown up too fast, like a son that's, he's over raising his mother. I don't think he ever really had issues with his father. Yeah, I mean, they were criminals and all that, but I think he really does. And I've said this before. I think there's resent against Renee. She's a little off kilter.
She's off kilter.
She's a little crazy. And now he feels. I mean, he's always, I think, felt responsible while his dad was locked up, and she doesn't have a relationship with her father, his grandfather. There's a certain level of unfortunate obligation. I got to take care of my mom. I got to raise my mom. I got to fill in my dad's shoes or my grandfather's shoes, and that's unfair to a child. Right. There's resent there, and I think he's going to need therapy later on eventually. So I say run.
I know you say that every week.
Run.
He seems like such a good kid. But I think his vision of dad, I think the dad has probably been like a Disneyland dad with him, meaning every time he's around, the father's around him, I bet she's cool.
Well, not only that, I mean, we go back, and I think I called it before too, is he told her, do what you guys are going to do. I think he knew that dad was up to something. Not necessarily ratting anybody out, but like, why do you think dad's coming home, Mom?
Right.
He needs a place to live. I think he called it. I think he knew, and he was like,
smart kid.
It's mom's fault. It's your dumbass fault.
He's old before his years. I hope he's close with Auntie Jen of Just Jen Productions. I
hope so too.
We have some great news and gossip about Mob Wives Chicago, about Big Ange, and some other things. So let's go to commercial and we'll come right back.
AfterBuzz TV.
Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about? AfterBuzz TV News.
Okay, this from the Chicago Sun-Times. An Italian-American leader, already unhappy about the arrival of VH1's Mob Wives Chicago, said any business that participates in the reality show should expect protests. But the owner of an Elmwood Park restaurant, who's drawing criticism for allowing the show to shoot at his place last month, has one bit of advice for Louis Rago and the Italian-American Human Relations Foundation of Chicago. Quote, "It's entertainment," says Mazzullo, owner of Bacciami Restaurant and Bar. "If people don't like it, don't watch it." That's not good enough for Rago, who said he fought the original Mob Wives series when it filmed in New York and New Jersey. Mob Wives Chicago has been filming here since December. "Our organization fights stereotypes through the performing arts," Rago said. "It hurts even more when an Italian-American buys into this." Mazzullo's name is going to be placed on a list, and members will begin phoning the restaurant to tell him on how unhappy we are about what he's done, he said. Ragu said other locations are being targeted as well. And not every business has been so welcoming. Gene and Giorgetti Steakhouse in Chicago refused to allow the producers of the Mob Wives to film. The owner vowed to personally escort them out if they show up. Noted restaurant owners Phil Stefani, Alex Dana, and Joey DeBono also said they would not participate in the show. Rago said, "More needs to be done to send a message so the studios will stop making shows like Mob Wives or Jersey Shore." "I'm a funeral director," Rago said. "I've been in the homes of Italian Americans since I was 12. These Mob Wives are imitating and living a life of how they think they are perceived, and it's sad. We're indoctrinated with Godfather, Goodfellas, and casino movies, and those big mafia shows that didn't make the big screen, he said. Television is a vast wasteland, Rago says. Reality TV is the cheapest, saddest form of entertainment. Shame on us for accepting this as entertainment. Oh, you're shaking your head. You're nodding.
I kind of agree.
Yeah? Yeah, but we love this show.
And if they stopped filming it, I would watch something else.
You'd watch.
I'm just being honest. Like, I'm not a fan. I mean, Jersey Shore is entertaining, but I'm thinking, like, do you guys realize what you're doing to your family and the future of your families? What kind of name? Integrity?
Well, he's not talking about the family. I think he's talking more about the culture. And you do agree.
I mean, your families build the culture.
Well, when I saw the first episode of Jersey Shore, and it was Guido this and Guido that, I was like, oh my God, can you imagine like a group of Mexicans being like, spick this and spick that? Or, you know, I was with my girlfriend at the time, my jaw was open. I was like, I can't believe I'm watching this. And then, of course, the other half of me that maybe I'm bipolar, like, I got right into it.
It is entertaining, but again, the guy, like, well, there was a response, like, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Unfortunately, I mean, it's a double-edged sword. It's entertaining.
But all the cultures now are running away. We have the Shaws of Sunset, and you know we do an after show here at AfterBuzz, and it's very I'm into that show as well.
No, so am I.
Yeah, it's fun. So,
but
anyway,
I also say as American, I mean, I've said this on other shows that I do. I mean, as Americans, I think we are hypersensitive, and shoot, I'm sure I'll get shot for that too. But we are.
But you know what though? But you know what I don't like though? I don't like that we are in America and we do have freedom of speech. And I never like these people that are going to target, put people on lists. I don't like that. So I'm not digging this guy, what he's doing. Yeah, well, it's reverse bullying, and I see more and more of it now. I mean, God forbid you say anything politically correct, the bullying gets turned on you. So anyway, that's why I'm turned off immediately when there's lists and blacklists, and like, okay, so let's say a restaurant is struggling a little bit, and it knows it can do well by getting some promotion, and so now this guy's going to blacklist it. Get out of here. You know, I don't know. Anyway, my take. All right, Wet Paint Entertainment can exclusively confirm that the larger-than-life reality mole, Big Ange, is getting her own spin-off series. Yes. A deal is in the works. A source close to Big Ange confirms to Wet Paint Entertainment nothing has been signed, but a deal is being set up. VH1 had no comment.
She's the business.
Yeah, we've been asking for it every week. Why wouldn't you? And I also think the way they're doing Pauly D, a half hour. Yeah. Half hour, fun, light show. Some of the people in her life, not so intense as this. I think it's great.
Cooking show, commentary, guest spot.
Anything. But I think I would like to see think of the bar, think of the people who work at the bar. We have her son. I mean, there's enough to work with. But I think a half hour would be fun and leave you wanting more, which again we're finding with the Pauly D project. Okay, reality tea. From reality tea, it seems that Mob Wives is turning out to be too much reality for some viewers. Ooh. After recent episodes showed the grisly reality of the mob lifestyle, fans are speaking out about the show losing its entertainment value. 2 weeks ago, the show featured the ladies' vacation to the Poconos, where they fired off some rounds in the woods to reconnect them with their roots or something. Karen Gravato, daughter of mob boss Sammy the Bull, recounted the first time she discovered her father's gun under a mattress. Now relatives of some of Sammy's victims are speaking out about the inappropriateness of the show and the topic. Sammy was a psychotic killer, and I do believe genes are inherited, said Linda Melito, a mob wife of her own, who credits Sammy for offering her husband, Louis Melito. What about the people Sammy killed and their extended family? How can Karen be allowed to shoot a gun? The apple doesn't fall far from the tree and crime doesn't pay, she told the New York Post. Concerns were also raised about Karen, who was once on probation, being in contact with a firearm. In response to the concerns, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, Philadelphia Division, issued a statement denying that any illegal behavior took place on said trip. We are aware of the show and the episode. We do not have a criminal investigation. Karen also denies breaking probation and issued a statement through her rep denying any wrongdoing. My probation terms have been over since 2003. At that time, I filed a motion to have my constitutional rights restored, and to my knowledge, they have been restored. They're doing everything they can to discredit me because of their personal issues with my father. Okay, now you're shaking it again. You're nodding again.
I mean, I understand the anger. Doesn't mean
I totally understand the anger.
Anything should happen.
No, but I understand it, and I've said that, and I've also, you've heard me say since we started doing this, is you know, it's in the DNA of some of these girls. It's got to be in Karen and Renee's DNA. I mean, they're directly related to murderers. And at the same time, it would be really hard to know that someone you loved was killed by them while they're profiting.
Because interesting enough, I've never heard, there's never been, not even a 15-second spot of Karen, you know, showing grief for the families and their losses. Never.
No,
I've never seen anything.
And you know what? They never do. From my experience, it's more bitterness with the feds and the people who ratted them out and the people who testified. They're like the arch enemies. They're the quote evil people to them, and they're the ones who should die. And they being Karen and the other ones are actually the victims in their brains. That's what I've seen. Now, on the flip side, I've also seen when at least you talk to the mobsters, they'll say that every one of them had it coming. That meaning it wasn't people like you and me who was outside.
Right.
It was, and again, that was another like kind of gaudy faux pas is when I know one of his kids was hit by a neighbor by accident, and then the guy disappeared. And like he would be known as a civilian, and really not. It's supposed to come down to money and business. And if you're gambling with them, you know, taking money from them, trying to block their business or whatever, you're gonna get it. But then again, you're in that lifestyle. I'm not saying it's right, but you're in that lifestyle.
Because I mean, you can go to an extreme and, you know, reach for straws and say, you know, Karen was a victim too. She was a victim of that lifestyle. She was raised
to a degree
to believe.
To a degree.
You know, I mean, do I think that the family should get money from Karen's book? No, but I do believe that the families have every right to voice their opinion about the book. Hey, Twitter, Facebook.
Right. No,
verbalize what you want to say.
I can't even imagine though how it would feel if it was
suck,
your
I totally understand.
It'd be horrible to see that these people gallivanting and making a lot of money, knowing that, you know, someone you loved is dead because of them.
And I would be a little flabbergasted if I did see Karen actually, you know, make comment or show remorse for any of these families. You know, again, I'm Team Karen, but I mean, it's Mob Wives Entertainment. I still think, like, at what point do you say, wow, these poor families?
I don't know. They're so deep in it. That's the problem.
Right.
They don't have an outside force
to what you know.
to say to say to them, hey, come on, you got to look at the outside. Look at, you have kids. Could you imagine? But anyway, reality tea on the Renee and Junior saga. Renee apparently fell into deep depression over Junior, no surprise, later leading to hospitalization after she contemplated suicide. Well, now Renee is moving on, but she will never speak to Junior again. I have no reluctance with my son's father whatsoever, she told Hollywood Life. Not at all. I found forgiveness for myself because if I didn't, I wouldn't be able to go on and date and be a happy person. As far as my father is concerned, I won't be able to forgive Junior, not now and not ever. I think she's dating. She says she's dating. I was talking to the producers from one of the owners of Left Right, the producers of Mob Wives. And I said, I know you can't give me any dirt. I'm not asking for any because I like to just be entertained like everyone else every week. But let's get these girls dating. Let's get Drita matched up with a lawyer. Let's get Renee out on a date. Let's see these people with some civilians. Like, let's see them try to change their life.
What do you say?
He's like, I'll think about that. And he just kind of smiled. Who knows? Maybe they have it in the works. They can't give anything away.
But you said it before, too. Like, who's going to date these women?
Well, you have to hope that, again, the crazy American need for fame supersedes so much. So someone may say, hey, geez, I'll roll the dice, chance to get on TV. There are people who would do that. I know you wouldn't. You're more self-actualized, but there's people who would be like, damn, hell yeah, I'll jump on that.
Yeah, but, you know, you just cringe and like, oh, these poor women.
Yeah. Well, then again, they're victimized again by it.
But they chose it.
They chose it. But again, are they any different? And I can answer this. No, they're no different than any other female celebrity. That's why they always say it's nice to meet either someone who's on your level or someone you've gone up the road with, that you built the life together. Because when you are, say, famous or wealthy, you don't know who's going to just love you for you.
Well, and you need to find comfort in these women when people like that whole restaurant situation, when people start ripping on you because
you have to have
look at what you've created as far as this is what your daughters have to look forward to.
Eesh.
As Italian American women.
Yikes. Renee also reveals that her son AJ is healing as well, but things are still difficult for him. He's doing his best. He's doing the best he can, and hopefully he will come out of it soon, says Karen. Renee credits her co-stars for keeping her sane, helping her through the awful situation. They have helped me. She shares, I'm in a really good place with the girls. I don't always like them, but I love them. She's also ready to start dating again. I'm single and open to dating. I'm looking for a real man. So we've talked about the dating. Let's talk about AJ.
Big Ann said it best. She said, he doesn't need to know, leave him alone.
Leave him alone.
Renee has no idea what's going on in AJ's head. She has no idea.
No, not a clue.
Not just about the ratting, just how he feels about his father, his grandfather, how he feels about her. She has no idea what's in store for her. There's going to be one day where he confronts her and he's going to let her know how he feels about her and this life that she's created for him.
Or he goes away to college and meets a girl and then just happens to live like 10 states away.
Back.
Yeah. Okay, HollywoodLife.com reports that Renee wants to be on Dancing with the Stars. Why couldn't it have been this season so we could have seen Maria and her and we couldn't become friends? The VH1 reality star took to her Twitter on March 27 to tell her fans that she would totally love to join Dancing with the Stars next season. I agree, Renee wrote in response to @JenGraziano, retweet of @DrakeandMedea, @ReneeGraziano, needs to be on Dancing with the Stars. Come on, people, let's make this happen.
I can see it.
I can see it, too. I can see them casting her, and I can see her being great. Although, from what I hear, whether it's this show or Celeb Apprentice, they don't like to be approached. They like to be the ones to ask you. So they kind of, no matter how big the star is, when you ask them, they get weird. You almost need to be contacted by them.
There's protocol, people.
Yeah, well, protocol also, it's just human nature. It's almost like, you know, do you want, you may have someone you want to take to ask to the dance, but then that person who asked you, you're not as into it, right? Maybe? Okay. Well, anyway,
we'll have Ramona.
That is our, Ramona. Well, by the way, we'll talk about her predictions. Okay, that's our news and gossip. Let's move to predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Wow. So, hey, Ronnie Jr., are you there?
What's up, boss?
So, is this the next week the last show?
There's a couple more. I don't have the exact show running. Yeah.
So I mean, am I right in saying that we'll have 15 episodes?
That's what it was last season, I believe. Right? I believe.
I think that's what Jesse said.
That's that's a lot for usually it's 12 for cable, maybe 13.
But I agree, though. I think
they got their money's worth.
Like you said, a lot of the public, it's exhausting. This is because it's real. It is emotionally exhausting.
It is exhausting.
Wow, this poor female.
Right. So
AJ.
next week we're gonna see. Well, next week we're gonna see Carla and Renee confront each other. Ramona's gonna get involved, and when she gets involved, forget it. Right?
I'm Team Karen, so.
I know you're Team Karen, but we're gonna see Ramona next week. So, and she always stirs the pot. I'm sure she's gonna be very understanding to Renee and very supportive, but I'm thinking she's probably gonna be down on Carla.
I don't know. I don't know.
No? What do we...
Tweet us. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, let us know what you think.
Ramona's going to stir the pot?
Yeah, let us know what you think. Yeah, that's actually a good point.
Where can they tweet you?
Tweet me @Undergaro, and...
You can tweet me at Tomakava777, or you can tweet us at...
Tweet us at AfterBuzz TV. And also, you guys, thanks so much for going to iTunes, but we need you to keep going there. Go to iTunes, rate us, comment. Go to YouTube and leave a comment, and please, by all means, tell a friend about us. We're not asking much more than that.
Totally. Serve me a virtual slap or something.
Yeah, virtual slap.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.